So during Michael Cole's weekly WWE.com interview, I just got that out. Megan's already crying. Zack Ryder was interviewed and revealed to Michael Cole that while he was in high school, he was diagnosed with and beat cancer. He stated that what further helped him beat cancer was he knew he had to get to the WWE.
I didn't watch that because I didn't want to cry, so...
Yeah.
Big ups to Zack Ryder for taking on something as big as cancer and actually kicking its ass, because that takes a lot.
And look where he is now. I mean, that is proof that you can go through some shit and still, like, make your dreams come true and still do what you set out to do.
Yep.
So, anybody, like, for all of you assholes who are like, oh, I can't do it, fucking shut the fuck up. Just
please.
Shut the fuck up. Zack Ryder beat cancer and then became Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania for 24 hours. You have nothing that you can say that would beat that, so shut the fuck up.
You know what? I have to play this now.
All right, shut up, bitch. You gonna learn today.
You gonna learn today.
Of course.
So, moving on. Here is another one on the injury choo-choo train. Bray Wyatt has become the next victim in the ongoing injured talent saga. During a match in Milan, Italy with Roman Reigns, he suffered what WWE.com confirmed to be a calf injury. No word on how long he's going to be out for. So that's 2 members of the Wyatt family down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you know what, though?
What?
You know what, though?
What?
I guarantee you that with that calf injury, he made Roman look really, really strong. He was probably told backstage, you need to make Roman look really, really strong out there. And he did by fucking his calf.
Now that sounds really wrong if you do not know context. I mean, he looks like he's backwoods, but no.
Ding, 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 ding. He is from Brooksville, which is literally right up the fucking pike from me. And it's really, really not ideal. I really am not a fan.
You moved there, so suck it up, princess.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's 2 people from the Wyatt family down, which begs the question, what are they going to do now? Because they were supposed to have that whole League of Nations and Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family shit go down at this next pay-per-view, and then there was supposed to be supposedly that Brock Lesnar storyline.
Yep. It's really unfortunate because, it's been mentioned 1,000 times at this point, but these injuries lately are just coming in droves. Like, it's not even like, oh, somebody got injured. That's unfortunate. That's, move on to the next thing. This has been so bad the past few months. Like, everybody is getting injured. And it's like, when is enough? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's obviously you have to sit there and realize that there's something contributing to this whole thing. And I will sit there and honestly say it's probably the entire work ethic. They are only home for 26 days out of the fucking year.
I think it was what the fuck was that statistic? It was something like they're on the road, traveling, doing shows, something WWE related, 300 days a year.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, how many days are in a year?
365 or 366, depending.
That is less than 3 months out of the year that they have on their own.
And it's not just touring in the States. It's literally touring in the States, going overseas, having to make appearances, wrestling, sometimes twice in a day. It is the most ridiculous thing ever. And they sit there and they pride themselves on the fact that they're a company that's not having an off-season like NASCAR or football or hockey or whatever. But you know what? These wrestlers that you're making money off of, they are only human. And this whole slew of injuries is showing exactly that. And it's... I don't understand why they won't sit there and be like, well, we need to do something about this. Instead, it's let's bring up somebody from NXT to take their place while they're gone, and then when this person comes back, we'll just sweep that guy right back under the rug.
Yeah. It's really ridiculous, and you can honestly take a look at the other sports. Yes, injuries happen all the time. My hockey team is proof of that. Like,
oh, yeah.
I can name you like 6 guys on our roster right now for the Lightning that are injured or have been injured in the past like 2 months. But
ridiculous.
Like, injuries happen in all professional sports. It happens. Nobody's at fault unless it's to make Roman look really strong, and then we'll consider throwing somebody under a bus, whether figuratively or literally, to make this happen. But all jokes aside, like, they need time to recuperate. Like, bodies don't heal under stress.
Yep, and a lot of the people that are on the roster are approaching middle age or a little bit older, and consistently going out there and performing and getting hurt, it takes a lot longer to heal up.
Especially when you don't have the days to do it. Like,
oh, yeah.
I don't honestly think these guys get more than like 3 days off at a time.
Yep.
I mean,
and
it's ridiculous.
Though, they don't end up going to like some wrestling event. They're on the road promoting stuff, and it's like they don't even get time to sit there at home.
No.
So something has to get done, or else they're going to be losing people left, right, and sideways like they are now.
It's honestly mind-blowing. As soon as I saw the article drop about Bray, I'm like, are you fucking for real?
I know.
Like, come on, guys. Like, you need to do something. Like, these human beings that are fucking writing your paycheck, they're humans. They need time to recuperate. Their bodies need time. And the ones that are getting hurt are the ones who, like, go hard all the time.
Yep.
Because they're so wanted. Whether you like him or not, Cena has been injured numerous times because the guy doesn't know when to sit down.
Yeah, and he always ends up fighting back so he can end up coming back sooner because he wants to be there to entertain all of you. He doesn't like taking the days off.
No, and like, you know, whether you like him or not professionally, Cena's probably one of the hardest working people in any sport.
Oh, absolutely.
And the same with Randy Orton. Like, Orton has been injured forever at this point, and he has a reoccurring issue with like his arm and his shoulder and whatever. And he's on the shelf. Rollins is on the shelf. Like, Cesaro just barely came back, and he was on the shelf.
Neville's on the shelf. Obviously, the 2 from the Wyatt family are gone now.
Nikki's still on the shelf.
Yeah. And it's just fucking terrible. There are so many people gone because of injuries. The way I see it, what they should do is set up the system where they start using people that, like for a short period of time, and then kind of shuffle through the roster, giving people ample time to have their storylines, to be in the spotlight, to get their title or whatever, and if they have to drop it, give them some time off. And develop your other talent. That's another problem. They don't develop or utilize half their talent. But this could be a way of not only giving your talent time off, but giving other talent time to develop, you know?
And a lot of times when superstars or the women wrestlers, when they get their time off, it's to do a movie.
Yeah.
So they're not getting time off.
They're still working.
And the thing that the other day I was very bored, apparently, and I was on WWE.com, which is a fucking nightmare.
I'm sorry.
Still. And I was looking at the active roster. There is over 100 people on the active WWE roster as it stands. They use maybe 20.
Well, the rest of them that
consistently
they end up using on like the live shows, but not like the tape stuff that they put on TV. I'm talking like their touring stuff. And you don't see them on TV quite often unless it's like Jack Swagger in the background being the voice of reason. And every now and then, some of them will show up on their WWE Superstars or whatever the fuck it is main event on the network, but it's nothing concrete and it's nothing so solid that you can get behind it. And you often forget these people are still on the payroll.
See Fandango.
Yeah, we were fucking shocked as hell to see him back.
Dude, Jesus. I honestly thought that he wasn't there anymore. And then his fucking gay-ass music hit, and I was very confused. God bless.
All right, so let's move on from our tangent, and you have the last piece of news.
Yep. So, WWE superstar Cody Rhodes and NXT star Tommaso Ciampa will both be they're starting a charity campaign to honor independent wrestler Chris Travis, who passed away in March after his battle with cancer. 100% of proceeds raised will be donated to the Cavendish Cancer Center in Travis's name. And you can find out more about this by going to Cody's Twitter at PrinceCGR.
I think that's actually a really great thing that they're doing, because anybody after his passing, anybody you saw on like Twitter were sharing stories and posting photos and saying nothing but great things about him. I can't personally say that I ever saw him or watched him or whatever. I didn't even know his name until this happened.
Same.
But seeing that kind of support is so moving.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
To know this guy had so many friends because he was such a good person. He had such a big heart. Seeing, people like Cody, who has a huge amount of fame because of his name and just because of what he does as Stardust or Cody Rhodes or whatever you want to bill him as, that's going to get a lot of attraction. And Tommaso Ciampa, he's one of the biggest independent stars right now. He is so highly in demand. So them using that to kind of collect money and be able to support a charity and all of this and, raise money and raise awareness and tell people that we need to find a cure. We need to get on this as soon as possible because there are too many good people passing away that we love.
Yeah.
It's just, it's amazing to see that sort of thing. And Tommaso Ciampa, he's one of those guys that are so heavily, I guess, embedded in charitable stuff because he was also a part of a money for that campaign to raise money for clean water for Flint, Michigan.
Yep.
I retweeted that a couple times because I thought that was incredibly important. And it's so good to see people that have that star power be able to use it for something good.
Yeah, it was like what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, like seeing people use their celebrity for something that's gonna not only benefit people, but just to help out and give back is so moving and so inspiring to see. And honestly, it's kind of a kick in the ass for the rest of us to just be a little bit nicer to one another, and except for us. But
well, nobody's nice to us in the first place, so why be nice to everybody else? Fuck them.
Right?
Fuck those guys in particular. Here's looking at you, Finland.
Yeah, right? He's
Like
done nothing for us lately.
Yeah, like I said to you in a text message earlier, they can burn for all I care.
Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, we're kind of obsessed with Finland. You're welcome.
Yeah, trust me.
Come join us.
I would say you are very, very welcome because Finland is fucking amazing. We should talk, but no, it is amazing.
I would live there if I could.
We have to live there. We have a fucking reindeer farm that we're gonna have. We gotta raise them reindeers.
We're gonna take care of Santa. We got this.
Yeah, we got Santa's back.
When all else fails, we will just be reindeer farmers in Finland.
Reindeer and cat farmers.
Max can go jump off of island counters into chairs in Finland.
Poor cat.
God. My poor boss. My poor little baby.
Well, we have a half hour left of the show, so I'm going to play a couple songs. And then we're gonna come back and probably talk about Raw.